So let's begin with our ritual of alignment so that you're set up for success. You're set up for the mind, body, spirit to enjoy the whole process and to reap optimal benefits. So sit away from the back of your chair and line up your knees with your hips or a little bit wider. Look at your feet and make the outer edges parallel to each other and the big toes. If it's easier to work with the big toes, do that, because when they're parallel, the outer edges are parallel as well. And if it doesn't feel a little pigeon-toed, you're probably not where you need to be. So look down and see what you can do for as long as you can do it. Lift your heart. Make sure that your sit bones are settled into the chair and as even as you can get them. Lift your heart, widen your collarbones, line up your nose and your chin with your belly button. Relax your hands on your thighs in whatever way feels most comfortable for you. And I invite you to close your eyes, although the choice is always yours. I invite you to close your eyes because that's a signal to the parasympathetic nervous system that we want that system to kick in. And it's the parasympathetic nervous system that manages the rest and the digestion of the body, and that allows us to access that relaxation response. But whatever you decide to do, eyes open or closed, I invite you to scan your mind, body, spirit from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet and everything in between, to notice how you're feeling, what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, because they're all connected. What we do for one, mind, body, or spirit, we do for the others. What we do to one, we do to the others. So I invite you to allow yourself to receive the benefits of yoga this morning throughout your body. And once you have the information from your scan of here and now, I invite you to ask yourself, what would I like to receive from yoga this morning? What would I like to receive from yoga this morning specifically? Maybe it's focus or calm or peace. Maybe it's strength or flexibility of a certain body part. Maybe it's something else entirely. Whatever it is, place it behind your heart and allow it to radiate from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet to everything in between, so that your whole self feels alive with this one thing as your intention. An intention gives direction to our awareness. And I invite you now to notice, to feel your breath. Where do you feel, where do you experience the sensations of your inhale? Where do you feel the experiences and the sensations of your exhale? Noticing, not judging, not criticizing, not changing, being the witness for yourself. And most of the time in yoga, when we're able, we breathe in and out through the nose. And one of the reasons for that is that there's little hairs, cilia, that keep the dust particles out. But you always have to remember that however you need to and can breathe, you breathe. That's the most important thing. So we'll begin moving by following the breath. We begin to breathe in and lift the shoulders to the ears. Begin to breathe out and let the shoulders float down. Begin to breathe in, shoulders up toward your ears. Begin to breathe out, shoulders float down. Let's do this a few more times, you following the rhythm of your breath and noticing what happens on the way down with each successive exhale. And now let's pause. I'd like to do a few, I don't even remember the last time that we did this, but I was at an online conference over the weekend, Accessible Yoga, and this always makes me laugh because accessible doesn't seem to often include just chair yoga. It's using chairs as props. But there were several sessions for this one that I was excited about because they were in their chairs. One woman it was in a wheelchair and led the class, which leads me to wonder if any of you would want to become yoga certified. Anyway, one woman did this stuff and I thought, oh my God, I haven't done this in so many years, but it's really cool. And it's acupressure hand movements. So let's start with the pinky edges of our hands together. And you have three choices. You can either hold like this, you can gently tap, or you can rub. So try them all, see which one best fits for you this morning, and then do that. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Now let's pause and bring the heels of the hands together and do the same thing. You can either hold, you can tap, or you can rub, whichever direction you want. Now we'll pause. And now let's bring the thumbs together so the thumbs touch like the inside of the webbing. And okay, just so you know, if you're pregnant, don't tap, just hold. Otherwise, you have the option of either holding or tapping. Rubbing doesn't really work in this position. So just choose, again, whatever honors your body as it is right now at 10:10 on Monday, October 12th, 2020. And pause and now switch so that your thumbs are the opposite direction. And either hold or tap gently. And now let's pause and bring one hand into a fist and let the other hand be open with that elbow snuggling into that side of the body. We're aiming to keep this hand still, but we do the best we can. And gently tap or hold or rub that fist into the open hand, the open palm, without moving that palm and keeping the elbow hugging the side of the body. Now, this is all great for circulation. So we'll pause and we'll switch. Fist into palm, that elbow hugging the side of your body as best you can, and either holding or tapping or rubbing, whichever you like. And it doesn't have to be the same from side to side. So you can switch off depending on what feels, what, how, where. And now we'll pause and let's put our hands on our thighs for just a moment. Breathe in and out. And now we'll bring the backs of the hands together. This always feels weird to me because how often do we touch actually the backs of our hands? So of course, one palm is up, one palm is down, and you're either holding or tapping or rubbing. And then we'll pause and switch them around. This was more challenging to me than just about anything. And either hold or tap or rub. And let's pause and bring the thumbs gently together. And because this is a rather delicate part of the body, I encourage you, if you decide to rub or tap, that you do so very gently. So you can hold, you can rub, you can tap. It's the thumb sides. And then we'll pause. Clasp your hands and hold or tap. And, you know, many of you have done acupuncture, acupressure, so you know that working with our hands works with the whole body. Everything is connected, that there's certain organs, there's certain meridians that are stimulated with different things. Let's pause. Notice which index finger is on top and switch so that the other index finger is on top and the other thumb. And of course, if it doesn't feel different, you didn't change anything. And either hold or tap. And now we'll pause. So just by virtue of switching the hands, instead of our usual clasping, when we switch it up, we're engaging the brain differently. So it's good for the body, it's also good for the brain. It creates new synapses, forms new synapses along the way. So relax your hands on your thighs for a moment. Check in with your feet. Check in with your back. Make sure your chin is parallel to the ground. And feel your feet. So remember, we want to press the front part of the heel down, but the whole foot is on the floor. And now lift your toes as best you can and put them back down. And lift your toes again and put them back down. Now this time, if you can lift your toes, see if you can spread them apart from each other. And remember something that's very important, you've heard me say this a million times, that even when you can't physically do something, when you visualize it, when you imagine it, your brain is feeling like it's actually happening. That's what the experience is. So you can look at your toes, and even if you can't do anything with them, you can visualize it. I reconnected with a gentleman, his name is Matt Sanford. He wrote a memoir, 2006, called Waking. When he was 13 years old, he was in a serious car accident that killed his father, his sister, and left him paralyzed from the waist down. And he is an exquisite yoga teacher and talks about how he can't feel his feet. But he does this not because he expects it to change, but because of the impact on the whole rest of his body as well. So, planting your feet, reaching your left hand up into the sky, put your right hand on the seat of the chair, reach your left buttock into the chair, your left fingertips up as best you can. And if this doesn't work for you today, just put your hand on your head. Breathe in and visualize your breath, the full length of that left side of your body. And when you breathe out, keep your left buttock anchored, and float gently over to the right. You don't have to go far. It's a very lovely, it can be a very lovely, gentle stretch. And on your next inhale, let your left hand pull you up. As you exhale, let your hand float down. Inhale your right hand up, your right buttock into the chair, breathing the full length of the right side of your body in and out. And on your next exhale, letting that hand float down. We'll go to the other side one more time. Reach your left fingertips up, your left buttock into the chair. Bring your right ribs slightly forward. And when you breathe out, float over to the right side. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can turn your head gently to the left. Otherwise, just look straight ahead. Inhaling your left hand up, exhaling that hand down. Inhaling your right hand up, fingertips to the sky, right buttock into the chair, breathe in. When you exhale, bring your left ribs just slightly forward and float over to the left. Again, gaze gently to the left, to the right. I'm all confused today, so you just follow your own body. On your next inhale, reach your right hand up. When you exhale, let it come down. Inhale your shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Bring your right hand to your right knee, your left hand on top of it. And now here are some options for you to try. Lift your right heel, or bring your hands behind your thigh. You can clasp your hands, that usually feels a little better and holds better. And you can gently lift that leg up. You can stay here, or you can stretch that right leg out, reaching through the ball of your foot as well as your heel. So choose the one that best fits for you today, either the heel lifted with the toes on the ground, lifting the knee, or stretching that leg out and getting a Barbie doll foot, basically. Choose the one that works. Now we'll bring that foot down. Bring our hands to the other side. Left hand and then the right hand on top. You lift your heel. You stay here, or you bring your hands under your thigh and you lift that thigh up and you stay here, or you reach that left leg out and you point both the heel and the ball of the big toe, and you breathe. And yes, if you want, you can shift from one to the other, and back again. And now let's come down, and we'll pause, centering yourself, looking at your feet, giving yourself the gift of alignment as many times as you need to, which means that basically every time we move and we come back to mountain, because that's our centering pose, we're looking to create the alignment, because you're worth the work. So on the next inhale, reach your hands up over your head. When you exhale, turn gently to your left side. Let your right buttock come forward and bring your right hand to your left leg. Inhale your left buttock down and exhale, float over to the right side. You can rest your right elbow against your leg. You can keep your hand extended, or you can let it rest on your head or your shoulder if that's easier. And if that doesn't work, you can just bring your hand to your waist. Again, always honoring your body as it is right now. Inhale, and when you exhale, press your feet down, come back up, and then to the center. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale to the opposite side. Let the left knee and buttock come forward as it wants. Bring your left hand to your right thigh. Rest your left elbow on your left thigh. And either reach your hand over your head, rest it on your head, rest it on your shoulder, or bring it to your waist. Whatever works for you today. Feel your breath working its way into your body, telling you you're worth the work. On the next exhale, come back up, come back to the center, pause right here, reset yourself. So you're looking at your knees, you're looking at your feet, you're lifting your heart, and you're feeling your breath, and your focus on your breath. And then inhale, let's do some shoulder rolls. forward and back, feeling your breath and letting your breath lead you. Finish the one you're on. Inhale your hands up to the sky. Actually, bring your hands down and scoot yourself forward a little bit. You know, over the weekend, this was independent of the conference. I was putting together our yoga practice for today, and I wasn't sitting back on the chair. And when I twisted and my hand was behind me, I thought, well, this makes so much more sense. So inhale and reach your hands up. Exhale, turn to your left side. Bring your left hand down behind you to the chair and let your right hand come either between your legs or on your left thigh, whatever works for you. Inhale, lift your heart. When you exhale, you can increase the twist a little bit if that feels right for you, or you can stay right where you were. We're feeling your breath once again, working its way into your body, feeling how your body responds. And check in with your feet. Have your feet sickled? So press the centers, fronts of those heels down and the balls of the feet down. And breathe. And now check in. Are you sitting evenly on your buttocks, or is one of them, probably the left one, a little bit lifted? See if you can experiment and bring that left buttock down toward the chair. Just see how it works. On your next inhale, reaching your hands up and coming back to the center. Exhaling, moving to the opposite side. Your right hand comes behind you to the chair. Your left knee and buttock come forward. Lift your heart, widen your collarbones, bring your left hand wherever it's comfortable for you to do that, and check your feet. And feel your breath. And feel whatever sensations you're experiencing, and make note of, just notice them. And check your buttocks. Are you leaning more from on one side or the other? It doesn't mean it's wrong or bad. It's simply a way to become aware. Inhale. Come back to the center, hands up into the sky, and when you exhale, bring your hands behind you, holding on to the back of the chair as you let your upper body come forward over your thighs. Remember, hinging from the hips. And let yourself breathe and be here, noticing what happens with each exhale, if anything. Simply paying attention to the body and how it's responding. Inhale. When you exhale, press your feet down, thighs to the chair. Lift yourself up to a seated position. Pause with your hands, your palms on your thighs. Now let's turn to the left side and sit so that the back of the left knee is touching the seat of the chair. Your right buttock is off the chair and your right knee is pointing down toward the ground as best you can. Remembering that if this is uncomfortable for your foot or your ankle, to put a pillow or a block underneath so that you're supporting yourself in whatever way you need to be here for a few breaths, several breaths, because this is more of a restorative version of a pose, and so we don't need to be concerned about counting the breaths like we do in the more active poses. So inhale and reach your right hand over your head. We'll only keep it here for 3 breaths. You're looking straight ahead, nose and chin in line with your belly button. Your left hand holding on to the back of the chair, left arm holding on to the back of the chair. Breathing in and out. And now releasing your hand down, but keeping your heart lifting and feeling that muscle group from just below your rib cage to just above your kneecap, the psoas. Letting it soften, receiving, allowing. letting go of some of the tension that tends to settle there and affects the entire body, including the internal organs, including the breathing diaphragm. On your next inhale, bring your right hand behind your right thigh to pull it forward so you're in mountain but sideways on your chair. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, turn to the back of your chair. I'm shifting, you just stay where you are. I just want to show you where we're going. Remember that this right buttock can shift forward as it wants. And now, hands are on the back of the chair. But this time, take the left hand onto the seat of the chair near the left buttock. Lift your heart, widen your collarbones. When you breathe all the way out, if it's accessible to you to gently increase the twist by this much, feel free to do that. If you're happy right where you are, I invite you just to stay right there and invite ease into the position, into your body. Relax the death grip that your hand has on the chair. And on your next exhale, come forward to sit in your sideways mountain once more. And now take your right hand on the inside of your right thigh and walk that thigh out as far as you can. These muscles tend to get tight, and so we want to give them as much space as possible. You can stay right here with your legs as they are, or you can stretch that right foot out and point the toes toward the left. But face your left leg and inhale your hands up over your head for Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. Breathe in and out here for only 3 breaths. And at the end of your third exhale, turn your upper body to the right and bring your arms into a T. So they're just below shoulder height. If this is not accessible for your arms today, of course, you can just bring them down to rest your hands wherever it's comfortable for you. Take your gaze over the front hand, breathe in and out and in. And on the next exhale, bring your right hand behind you to the seat of the chair and your left hand up into the air. And now breathe in, exhale your hand down. Bring your right hand behind your right thigh to pull it forward. And see if you can, with as little hands as possible, come back to the center of your chair. Pause with your hands on your thighs. Reset yourself. So again, give yourself the gift of alignment. And on your next exhale, turn to the other side. So now it's the back of your right knee that's against the seat of the chair. Your right foot is flat on the floor or on a block or a book or a cushion, but you want something so that you can anchor your foot. Right hand behind you on the back of the seat of the chair. Left buttock off the chair, left knee pointing down or in whatever direction your muscles allow you to go. Inhale your left hand up, breathing in and out here for 3 breaths. And now continuing to visualize the breath as you let your hand come down, flowing in and out of that space of your body, bringing it softness, which allows the breathing apparatus to function better. It allows the organs more space because they're not being crunched by a tight muscle. Just allow yourself to breathe and be here. And now bring your left hand behind your left thigh to pull it forward. Let's pause here for a breath in and a breath out. Inhale your hands up over your head. I'm switching, you stay where you are. And when you exhale, turn to the back of your chair in toward the right side. Let your left buttock and knee come forward if they want. Bring your right hand behind you to the seat of the chair. Lift your heart when you exhale. At the end of your exhale, you can, if it's accessible to you, twist a little silly millimeter more. Anchoring your feet, but letting your pelvis move as it wants. Breathing in one more time. And on the exhale, turning back to be in mountain, sideways on your chair. Take your left hand on the inside of your left thigh and pull it out to the side as best you can, as far as you can. Sorry. Make sure your right foot stays strong to the ground, and you can either keep this knee bent, you can straighten it, and then turn your toes more forward. So do what's going to work better for you. Inhale your hands up, you're facing your right knee. Breathe in and out here. And then in, and on the next exhale, turn towards your left. So just the upper body is turning. Your arms are in a T or on your waist, whatever works better for you today. And you take your gaze over your front shoulder, your right shoulder. Breathe in and out. Breathing in. And on your next exhale, bring your left hand either to your left leg or to the seat of the chair, and your right hand up into the sky for reverse warrior. Now come back to your center. Bring your left hand behind your thigh. Pull that knee gently forward. Use as little hands as possible to bring yourself back to the center. Give yourself the gift of alignment with your feet and your knees and your hips and your chin. Allow your hands to relax, eyes open or closed, depending on what feels right for you. And now bring your hands to your waist so that your fingers are in the crease of your thighs and your pelvis, and your thumbs are behind. And if it helps to sit forward in the chair a little bit, experiment, see how this works for you. But we want the pelvis to be doing the movement and the spine to follow the pelvis. So when you inhale, push the fingers back so that the top of the pelvis moves forward. And when it does that, the whole spine comes forward. And then if it makes sense to you, you can lift your chin a little bit and your gaze. When you exhale, press the thumbs into the body so that it's pushing the pelvis back and down. And when that happens, your upper back rounds and you can let your head hang. So I invite you to move with your breath, being totally focused, of course, as best you can, on letting the pelvis initiate the movement. On the inhale, the top of the pelvis comes forward. The heart follows, the chin follows. On the exhale, the top of the pelvis goes toward the back of the chair, and your whole back rounds, including your neck, which allows your chin to come towards your chest. Remembering that even when you can't do something, visualizing gives the message to the mind body that this is what you want. And so some people would say that that energy travels through the whole body, even when you can't feel it. So let's finish the one we're on and come back to our seated mountain with our hands on our thighs, inhaling the shoulders forward and up, and exhaling them back and down, inhaling them forward and up, and exhaling them back and down. And now let's bring the soles of the feet together. It will help you if you can scoot forward a little bit so that you're at the edge of your chair. Make sure, of course, that you have something in front of you. so that you can hold on to it as you need to, either another chair or a table. And you can have your feet here. You could also lift them up a little bit so that they're on a block or a book or a cushion, and have them up a little higher or higher still. So play with this. You know, you've got that book now, so you don't have an excuse for not doing things at home, right? So play with it and see what you can do. And of course, it's different on any given day. So wherever you are, whether it's feet high, and you could also put them on a chair in front of you if your hips have that much mobility. But wherever you go, just enjoy that. Bring your hands behind you to the chair. And now bring your heart forward and your chin up. And bring your shoulder blades toward each other. And we'll stay here just for 3 breaths, in and out. Doesn't matter how long or short your breaths are. When you finish with the 3rd exhale, just come back to your chair, to your Tadasana, and pause right here. And feel whatever there is to feel. If you have a sofa cushion that you can put behind you, go ahead and do that so that you have support at your upper back in particular, from the shoulder blades up. And when you sit there, again, play with this and see if you can get the top of your pelvis to tilt forward just a smidgen, because that helps bring the lumbar spine into its natural curve. Relax your hands in whatever way feels comfortable for you on your thighs. You can have your feet in alignment for Tadasana, or you can bring them out wider to help release some of the tension in the outer and inner hips. Whatever feels good for you, whatever will allow you to relax, to let go, and to receive the blessings of your yoga practice. So I invite you to breathe with me. First, we'll breathe a few normal breaths in and out. And as we breathe, we continue to check in to make sure that we're not sinking forward from the shoulders and the chest, but instead we continue to lift the heart up. When you're ready, I invite you to breathe deeply in, to pause, and to breathe deeply out, trying to get the inhale and the exhale to be even, and pause. And now breathe a few of your normal breaths in and out. When you're ready, I invite you to breathe deeply in, to pause, to breathe deeply out, trying to get the exhale to be even with the inhale, and pause. And now breathe a few of your normal breaths in and out, remembering 2 things. If while we're breathing, you begin to feel like you need more breath, just forget what we're doing and breathe whatever your body needs you to breathe. And sometimes after we have breathed a long, slow breath in, when we get to our normal breathing again, we want to breathe deeply in again. Let yourself do that. Follow the wisdom of your body. It's so much wiser than we are in so many ways, even when we don't think so. When you're ready, I invite you to breathe deeply in, to pause, to breathe deeply out, to pause, and to breathe your normal breath in and out. And now, if you would like to continue Doing the slow, long, even, deep breath in and out in between your normal breaths. Please feel free to do that. If you prefer to breathe your normal breath or a different breathing pattern that's also going to help you relax, then feel free to do that as well. But whatever you decide to do it with as much of your attention as you can. And when your mind takes you someplace else, because that is what the mind does, and you catch yourself, celebrate. And without judging or shaming or criticizing yourself in any way, shape, or form, bring your awareness back to your breath, or back to the sensations of your breath, or back to sensations on your skin. Bring your attention, your awareness back to your body. Not thoughts, not judgments, not criticisms, just your body. I invite you to become aware of your body by wiggling your toes and wriggling your fingers. To become aware of the room around you. To become aware of your breath. I invite you to draw a very deep breath all the way to the soles of your feet. To pause in the fullness of your breath. And now slowly, slowly, slowly let the breath out, letting it carry away with it any remaining tension or tightness of the mind, body, spirit. And pause again in the stillness. When you begin breathing in, I invite you, if you're still wearing your glasses, to take them off, to rub your hands rigorously together to generate some heat. And now gently cup your hands over your eyes and receive the warmth from your hands and your eyes and their sockets, your cheekbones, your jawbone, all the way down to your heart. Place a smile behind your eyes, behind your lips, behind your heart, and receive the softness that moves into your thoughts, your words, and your actions. I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together in front of your heart so that we might honor ourselves and each other with the word that's used throughout the Himalayas to say hello and goodbye, and which means the light that is me honors the light that is you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Thank you for once again letting me be part of your day and letting me guide you in your practice of yoga.